Okay. All right. You want to start the timer?
Yep. Okay, the timer is started, so.
Do 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 do. do. Did it start?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, it just timed out for the 30 seconds.
Okay.
So now it's the share reaction step.
Okay,
If you want to tell
so
me.
the first thing that I can see is that um, your main focal point is your picture. Is that what you intended?
Yeah, either that or the title up at the front, but I actually want to work on the title. I'm not crazy about it right now.
Yeah, so the title is good. It just seems a little off balance a little bit. Now,
Okay.
if you want me to compare the two, which maybe you don't want me to, should I close the other one?
Yeah, you can close the other one.
I think with the title, you don't really have an emphasis on. I mean, leadership is kind of emphasized, but not noticeably different from graduate or conference.
Okay.
So, which is okay. It's just I am not sure which message that you wanted to send as far as what your main focus wanted to be.
Okay.
Let's see. I really like the layering at the bottom where the image is overlapping the time, and that
Okay.
kind of creates that L shape. I really like kind of the shape that it creates down there, and it really helps it helps the time, date, and place stand out a lot. And also with the gradient squares going down, it kind of helps draw your eye down that way as well.
Okay.
And I like the gradient on the right side of the text box because it flows nicely with the text, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. The 2 minutes is up for the share reactions. So the next part is I analyze the message. So obviously, you know the message since you had the same assignment.
Yeah.
So I guess how well does it convey that message?
Um, I think it conveys a professional message. I like that. Um, I think that your typography is really good, and your header. So one thing that I really like is that do you have the competitive edge in business as the subtitle, um, which really kind of draws the viewer in. And as an overall, I think that helps, in connection with your leadership
Okay.
aspect of the conference or leadership, because your leadership word is bigger than the rest, and I think that kind of helps tie that together.
Okay. Yeah, I do want to emphasize the leadership, so I'll work on that in the title so that it's even more obvious. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
So, do you think it's appropriate for like the audience age group wise?
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
okay.
I was just going to say, I also think that your white space is strategically placed. It creates a nice asymmetrical balance your design because you have white space on the right as well as on the left.
Okay.
Um, and overall, it has a nice professional feel to it.
Okay, thanks. All right, so the timer just beeped again for the critiquing the design, which I guess you had kind of already started.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's fine. So I'm just going to go through the key questions really quick. We went through message and the audience appeal, and you just did the white space. So I guess the grouping. Does it look like the information that should be together is together? Does anything seem misplaced?
No, the only thing that and I'm not even sure if this is right, but your logo at the bottom seems a little bit out of line, but
Mm-hmm.
either you need to line it up with the image. I think it needs to be aligned with something.
Okay, I agree.
And
Do you think just a line on the right side, or do you think that it hangs down at the bottom too is distracting?
well, I think if you were to line it up with the image, it would help alleviate that distraction because that was my first thought. You
Okay.
could also align this, so that middle white line, you could also possibly align it with the bottom of that gray box. But I
Okay.
don't know if it would if it would look too close to the image as well.
Okay.
I just think it needs to be aligned with something.
No, I agree. Okay, timer's up for
Okay.
all of it, so we'll switch here in just a sec. Let me make sure I don't need to go close anything. Okay.
Okay, you
So let
ready?
me pull up yours. Yes, I've got it up. So let me know when the timer goes to start the 30-second look.
Okay. Can you hear that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So share reactions.
Okay, so I really like these frames that you have around your text box. I know you can't exactly see where I'm pointing to.
I know what you're talking about, though.
Okay, and I like that. I just like the element that they add to it, and I like the coloring that you use. I like that you did the graduate in the gray. Um, and I think that your typography choices are really, really good. Um, I'm first drawn to the picture, the image on the page. It looks like the image is stretched out a little bit.
Yeah, I felt that way too, and I wasn't sure if I should try and get it all the way across or if I should shorten it up a little bit.
I would, when you stretch, so when you put your image on there, when you adjusted the size, did you hold down the shift key
Uh,
while you adjusted the size?
I don't rem I don't think so.
Okay. If you hold down shift while you adjust the size of the frame or the image, it will keep the proportions right on the image.
Okay.
Because it looks like it was stretched out a little bit. But I like where you've placed it on the page.
So you think I shouldn't shorten it, just keep it the same distance
Um,
as far as the
I, I don't know. Um, I think it needs to be aligned with something. I would either, so maybe you could, if you readjust it and maybe see how much space it takes up and line it up with the edge of that black frame, maybe.
Okay.
Do you, sorry, I know the timer ring, but I'm just going to finish this thought really quick.
That's
So
okay.
if you line it up, if you're going along from the left-hand side of the page over to the right-hand side of the page, I would follow that black line all the way to the end of the black line and line it up with the end of that horizontal black line.
Okay.
And see how that looks maybe. And then if not, I would probably take it all the way across the page.
All right.
So, okay. So next is the message.
Yes.
I think it conveys the message very well of what it is. The only thing, so this is something that was brought to on my first draft. I had graduate as the largest, and I like that you have it larger, but it could be misunderstood as like graduate and then leadership conference. Yours is pretty well balanced to where I didn't feel like I noticed that, but I also know what the poster's supposed to say or the flyer's supposed to say, so that might be something you want to run by somebody who doesn't know the assignment, just to see if they're getting the message of graduate leadership conference or graduate, and so.
Okay. That's a good point.
Yeah, that's the only thing I have to say about the message, but other than that, like, I think it conveys the message really well. I like that you have the typographic hierarchy, you know, the date and time and all of that stands out as the important information on the page. So, and then, that's about all I have for the message.
Okay. So the last thing is critique the design.
Okay. So I'm just going to jump over to white space really quick, since we already kind of hit the message and audience appeal. I can't tell. It looks like the bottom gray frame isn't lined up with the black graduate box at the top. Okay. I would line those. They may be aligned, but from my angle, like what I can see right now, it looks like they're a little bit off. So I would move that over and then extend that text box out a little bit just so that it goes over as well into that frame once you adjust the frame.
Okay.
I would also, so where you have your registration and more information available at the website, that takes off. So I really like, you have these frames, but I feel like at the bottom of that page, that gray horizontal line, you almost imagine it going all the way across the page. I would move up that text and have it align, the bottom lines align together. So the website line and the Lincoln Convention Center line, I would have those line up at the bottom. And then I would also move up where you've then placed the logo. So just shift all of that up. I think that'll take, because you kind of, it looks like you've just got this blank space here on the left side of the text, and so I think that'll fit a little bit better if you were to move that up. And then I'm not sure, again, like I said, once you adjust that image, how the white space balance is going to be on the right side. That's something you'll just have to play with and see if you feel like the picture needs to go all the way across. But you have enough room, really. If you wanted to, you could spread that picture all the way across and shorten the text. You know, spread your text out, not just to be half the page, but like 2/3 of the page.
Yeah, that's very true.
So if you need the extra room to, you know, stretch out that picture and keep the proportions the same, you could do that. So, and then, I know my time's up. I'm just going to say one more thing.
That's okay.
On the typography, the rag at the right-hand edge isn't very even. Like, if you see the there's all this room, and then this dynamic 3-day seminar, like, there's a big gap there, and also
Oh yeah, I
communications
see it.
devoted to. So I would just adjust that so that you don't have those big breaks. Mine had that too, and there were like extra returns in there from when I copy and pasted it over. So you just probably need to go and remove those.
Oh yeah, I see it because cultivating is by itself and employers by itself.
Mhm.
And I think I was like adjusting the box so much too that it was off.
So, but no, it looks really good. Other than that, I just would adjust that. But I think you've got a good thing going here.
At least it's a start.
No, it's good.
Well, thank you. Yours
So,
is really great too. So,
yeah,
um,
thank you for your feedback.
I think that's it. I felt like all of your flyers had all the your flyer had all the images or requirements. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Um, so, and we just kind of talked about everything as far as the requirements go. So I don't really think that we need to go over that.
Okay. Yeah, I think yours had them all too. I was looking at it
But
and I didn't think
yeah, the my rags are really really terrible, so I'll fix that for
yeah.
sure.
And if you want, like, we don't have to do an official critique again, but once you make adjustments, if you want to email it to me and ask my opinion, I have no problem emailing you back a response. So,
Okay, yeah, that sounds good too. And likewise.
okay, thank you. So, all right, is that it then?
I think so.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
You can hit, there's like a stop recording button.
Okay, stop broadcast.